For millennia, humanity has charted the stars, cleaved mountains, and constructed empires destined to touch the heavens. We've wielded technologies capable of reshaping continents and ideologies promising immutable order. Yet, amidst this grand saga of human striving and undeniable mastery, lies a peculiar, often overlooked truth: the sheer, perplexing fragility of the human mind and its astonishing capacity for collective delusion. From the annals of history, few chapters are quite as disquieting, or indeed as bewilderingly absurd, as the phenomenon known as Koro, the mass delusion of shrinking genitals. Consider the fertile grounds where such phantoms take root. Across Southeast Asia, particularly in eras of profound societal upheaval, rapid modernization clashing with ancient traditions, economic anxieties simmering beneath the surface, or the cold grip of public health scares, a unique cultural matrix was already in place. Traditional beliefs, often steeped in concepts of cold and hot foods, of internal energy imbalances, and the pervasive influence of malevolent spirits, offered a ready framework for the unthinkable. In places like Singapore and Thailand during the 1960s and 70s, whispers of a deadly new affliction found a receptive audience. Not a virus, not a famine, but a silent, insidious threat to one's very essence, a fear cultivated in the fertile soil of collective anxiety. The protagonists in this unfolding drama were not generals or monarchs, but the everyman, seized by an intimate terror. Picture the scene: a man, perhaps a seasoned fisherman in a bustling port city, or a tired farmer in a rural village, suddenly gripped by an unbearable sensation. His genitals, he became convinced, were retracting, shrinking, threatening to disappear entirely into his body. The inciting incident was rarely a singular event. Rather, it was the chilling contagion of fear itself. A neighbor's panicked whisper, a shared dream, a local news report, amplified by the potent echo chamber of community lore. Soon, dozens, then hundreds, then thousands across entire regions found themselves victims of this shared hallucination, a testament to the mind's terrifying power to manifest its deepest fears. The ensuing conflict was a spectacle of desperate, often ludicrous, self-preservation. Individuals, driven by an overwhelming sense of impending doom, resorted to increasingly bizarre and perilous tactics. Some would physically grasp their genitals, convinced that only constant manual traction could prevent their complete disappearance. Others employed an array of makeshift clamps, weights, or elaborate harnesses. Some fashioned from strings and fishing weights, others from the most rudimentary household items, all in a frantic, often painful, effort to anchor what their minds insisted was vanishing. Family members, equally terrified, were sometimes enlisted in these bizarre rescue operations, holding on to the threatened appendage for hours on end. It was a macabre, collective performance of anxiety, a widespread, yet deeply personal, battle against a phantom foe that existed solely within the confines of perception. One could almost compare these frantic, individual acts to a nation's misguided defense budget, lavishing resources on a threat that intelligence reports had wildly misidentified. When the waves of panic eventually receded, Koro left behind a legacy of bewildered medical professionals and countless anecdotal accounts of sheer terror. Media reports, once fueling the hysteria, now offered accounts of its slow, often inexplicable, decline. In its wake, modern science stepped in, attempting to decipher this profoundly human enigma. Today, Koro is widely understood not as a physical disease, but as a culturally bound syndrome, a specific form of mass psychogenic illness. It's a stark reminder of the intricate interplay between individual psychology, cultural belief systems, and the profound, often bewildering impact of societal stress. The human mind, it turns out, is a landscape far more volatile, far more susceptible to self-inflicted siege than any empire or economy. Its greatest triumphs, and indeed its most embarrassing follies, are often etched not in stone, but in the shifting sands of collective perception.